But for now, I think let's dial it back and let's start from the beginning. So before you played basketball, before you opened up your academy, before you traveled the world, you've spoken quite candidly about that journey you made from Haiti to the U.S. Right? We'd love to
hmm
hear in your own words. What do you still remember about that? Some of the fears you had on that journey. If you ever thought that you would, get to where you are today, travel the world. What was it like, traveling at 7 years old, arriving in the States, and kind of having a blank page in front of you?
Man, I still remember it kind of vividly. And sometimes I get chills when I think about it because I just remember my mom just sitting at the edge of the boat on the gas tank. And then when she got up, the gas was still, since she's riding on the wave, the gas was leaking out the tank and got burnt by the gas. And I remember, after we got on shore, when we went to the house, ended up seeing the mark a couple of days later. I remember just jumping off the boat. I seen everybody tying sneakers around their neck to jump off the boat. So, I followed right behind, tied my sneaker around my neck, jumped off the boat. Next thing you know, I'm trying because it was a little too deep, and ended up losing my sneakers. So, I just remember just running through the woods, hiding, trying to, it's all vivid to me, but it all played off.
What was that conversation like with your mom before you got on the boat, right? Did you know where you were going, or kind of what you were doing? Or does it only really hit you when you all of a sudden you look around and you realize you're in the middle of the ocean, kind of wondering what's going to happen next?
I had no idea. All I knew was in the back of a pickup truck driving, and all of a sudden I passed out, woke up, we all getting on the boat, and then after that, fell asleep again, just thinking, it's gonna be a short trip, and all of a sudden we're in the middle of the ocean. And I remember just looking up, and there was a full moon that night. The ocean in the middle of the night with a full moon do look very beautiful, but at the same time very scary too, because there's no land, nothing around.
Was that journey just you and your mom, or do you have siblings as well?
It was me, my mom, my sister, my little sister, which I'm 4 years older than, and it was us three really that took that journey.
Cady, tell me a little bit more, like, how was it? Like, how'd you guys know when to jump in the water? And we're talking about this was during daytime or this was during the nighttime?
Nighttime.
How did you feel as a 7-year-old jumping in the ocean and not knowing where you're jumping
Well,
into? Like,
that's like when I think back from when I jumped off that boat to show that fear wasn't really something I really had to. I was pretty much fearless kind of. So when I seen everybody jumping off, I just said I'm jumping off also. So as soon as I jumped off, I don't know what my mom did, but all I know I got to shore, and the boat it wasn't too far from shore. It was like right there, but I wasn't tall enough like everybody else to really walk. So I had to do a little swim, but then I got right to shore, turned around. My mom's right here, picked with my sister, grabbed her, and we just ran to the bushes as soon as she grabbed my sister.
wow. And what was next?
And after that, so after she grabbed us, we went to the bushes, right? So we was hiding, creeping around, and we could see cars flying by. We don't know. I still to this day, I don't know if it was police or border patrol. I'm not sure, but cars was flying back. So we was hiding in the bushes and went around the other side. So everybody kind of split up. Everybody went their own way, did their own thing. But my mom had a connection, which my sister's father was there already, waiting to pick us up. So so they was at the beach on the other side, and as soon as I guess the border patrol went by asking what's going on, they just said they was just at the beach, just hanging out. So this was our way to get to wherever they were staying at. So as soon as we crept a little bit, I don't know how my mom knew where to go. Probably spoke with them before she got on the boat to figure out everything. And we hopped in. They had their car parked right there, so we hopped right in their car. Just really us three that got in the car. Everybody else, I'm not sure what happened to everybody else. Still to this day, sometimes you run into some Haitian families that they came from the same boat or knew somebody that came. Oh, XYZ got caught or XYZ made it, but we got on the boat and in the car, and all I remember we just drove, and I passed out again. And next thing you know, I woke up, we in the house.
Your mom sounds like a remarkable woman. Can you talk about a little bit about that transition now? So you've done the hard part, or at least what seems to be the hard part in making that journey. How do you then settle into what regular life is?
It was kind of tough when I first got to the country because, again, I was just one day I was just somewhere else, and next thing you know, I'm here, and you seen the United States on TV. All of a sudden, you realize you're here now, and it was a pretty tough transition because at the same time I was Haitian. So growing up Haitian at that time, it wasn't really too cool to be Haitian. You know, you guys would crack on you. You would dress a little different, and you know, it was a little different. If you're from the islands, from pretty much from the country, so you don't really have much of the clothing that everybody else had. So that was really the transition I had to go through. And once I started figuring it out and started adapting to speaking English a little bit better, I felt a little bit more comfortable. But at the same time, I always had my mom there to help me navigate those waters to fit in or to feel comfortable.
So, Cady, you're 7 years old in a new country. How did basketball start for you? How did it come into your life?
Well, basketball started really when we came into the country. You know, coming from Haiti, you used to getting whoopings. You know, like with a belt, you do something wrong, you getting a whooping. So one day my mom whooped my sister, and you know, I guess it was in the U.S. school, they seen it as like child abuse or something, and it took us away from my mom. So it took us away for like 4 months. We were living in child custody, DCF, and you know, it was a whole another process. This is when I was in 5th grade.
You're telling me at what age were you and your sister taken away from your mom? At 7?
No, it was taken away. I was around 5th grade, so that's like around 10.
11, 12, yeah, around that.
11, 12, yeah, 11, 12.
This is insane to me, that what you had to deal with. You had to deal with the boat issue, getting to America, and then you had to deal with that. Talk to me about the difficulties of you being away from your mom and your sisters with you and moving from house to house. Like, this must have been, I can't believe it. Like, I'm just shocked right now.
Yeah, living in a group home, like it's tough. I could definitely say, like, you know, especially if you're in all guys, teenage guys, like you're gonna end up in fights. You're gonna end up, you know. The fact is that I just wouldn't leave my sister, so that's why, you know, I had to deal with some of the stuff I had to deal with. For my sister, it wasn't too hard because she was with the younger crowd, but I was with, you know, some of the teenagers, and you know, being that the fact I was probably the only Haitian around, and you know, guys would probably try to crack jokes, and at that age, I just really, some of the jokes I didn't really get, and I wasn't too much of a hee ha ha type of person, so the only way you'll try to resolve that is, you know, getting physical. So that's what happened at some of the group homes. So that's why we had to move so much. But at the same time, you know, it kind of helped me become a man at an early age.
Cady, that's a remarkable story. So just so the listeners are clear, when you arrived from Haiti, you were in Florida, and then over the course of, once this happened with your mother, the next couple of months, you were bouncing from home to home within Florida, or did you go to different states in the U.S.?
Within Florida, it was all in Orlando. When I got taken away from my mom, it was all in Orlando. So we moved from like group homes all from West Orlando to the east side to central, back to central Orlando. So it was all over the city pretty much.
And then 4 months after this started, the case was dropped and you were able to go back home?
Really, it's more like 5 to 6 months. The case after the case was dropped, but yeah, my mom, you know, everything she had made to from working, she had to spend it all on lawyers to try to get us back, and that's probably one of the most depressive state my mom ever really went through. I remember my older sister, like when we got older, she started explaining to me what my mom was really going through, how much she had to be at the house to make sure, you know, because my mom had to, if she felt like it was her fault, you know, and sometimes we get taken into, you know, DCF custody, you're there till you're 18, you might never come back, and they're gonna try to find, it's almost like the jail system. So they're gonna try to find a way not to, you know, let you come back. But the lawyer and the judge, thank God the judge understood, you know, Haitian culture, and she understood, like, you know, Haitian culture, you do something wrong, the way you get disciplined is by getting a whooping with a belt. So she ended up telling my mom, like, you know, it wasn't really with a belt. My mom whooped my sister, it was probably more like, you know, extension cord, but she told, like, you know, use a wet towel or something to whoop kids, or, you know, find a different mean of discipline, which, you know, my mom, you know, she was pretty good at that, finding a different route, but